Greetings to my team of 144, all starseeds, loveworkers, and wayshowers. It is 723-2019. Another day of intense waves coming in, brothers and sisters of the light. This timelessness energy is coming into the field now. Aho, miteyako o yasin. To all my brothers and sisters, all my relations. We are here in these times of great change. As I sat connecting with my guides this morning, this concept of no holds barred came in clearly. There's nothing holding us back now. We have arrived in full consciousness and everything. The conditions are just right for ascension. Also, the concept of we are in the wild, wild west. This is uncharted territory. This is the unknown. What we are experiencing here has never happened in the history of the universe. And the concept smiling into your heart. Smile, smile, smile. Ground, ground, ground. Smile into all three dantians. Transmit as much love as you can into each dantian. Lower, middle, upper. The lower dealing with the physical, the past. The middle, time of now. Timelessness. Present. Non-physical, and then the upper dantian, the future, the spirit, beyond duality. For it is these three dantians that create our experiences and our realities, our dreams. Last night, many, many intense dreams, very vivid dreams. The last 2 nights, hours and hours of dreaming. We are heading into the day out of time, this Thursday, July 25th. On the Mayan calendar, into the new galactic year of July 26th, Friday. This energy of timelessness, of spaciousness, non-linear, non-physical is coming in fully now. Many of us are awakening to that non-physical aspect of our consciousness, which we tap into during dream time and meditation. And we are merging the three into the one, the Trinity into the one still magnetic light at the center of all things. Now, hopefully I remember to edit the video with last night. There was an amazing sunset with many sylphs and glyphs in the sky through the clouds, many ships. So if I remember correctly, that is what will be playing in the video of this recording. But we shall see. I'd like to thank all our bro stars and sisters of the light that have sent in or posted their transmission, the Starseed Blueprint. Check out Blueprint for all Starseeds Loveworkers. Thank you for joining us on this Loveolution as we transmit our deepest love and truth into this realm to uplift all of humanity, uplift the collective. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today's transmission from Anastasia Campos from the Blue Beyond Guide. Part 1 of the progressive new Lionsgate energy updates. New Light Paradigm, Blue Beyond Guide, 23rd July 2019. Dear Ascending Earth Masters, this will be a follow-on from other previous updates which are still energetically occurring in different stages for each of us individually. Feel and take in what you need, as they quite often need to be felt more than once. The war is over. Like after the war has finished, was given the vision of the end of World War II and the celebrations, death of the old family personal ties and connections going back lifetimes. Karmic marriages are ending for particularly those who are Blu-rays, twin souls, flames, starseeds, lightworkers, who are part of the 144,000. Don't try to keep your 3D marriage intact because that will hurt and cut you deep inside on an emotional and energetic level. You cannot ascend to 5D, it will only pull you back. Go with the flow. You can not stop this from occurring. It is inevitable. Wonderful. We have reached this energetically as I reached this many years ago and have been sharing about this for years as well. Gary Zukov writes on this in Seat of the Soul. I've spoken to 2 Blu-ray souls this morning with healings from past updates and personal sharing and healing for their situations in regards to the war is now over energy. And this reading is from the Aquarius Papers, What is the ring pass not, and why is it so important in our spiritual evolution? From Robert Wilkinson. In our lives, there is a binding force that requires we learn all we must learn before we can move on to our new experiences. There are certain lessons we must master if we would grow beyond our limitations, fears, and vain imaginings. This binding force is known in esoteric psychology as the ring pass not. And as a ring, R-I-N-G, the ring pass not. We all have a ring pass not, N-O-T, and it shifts with each lesson we learn to apply with wisdom, intelligence, and skill. Even though it is human to be hassled by our responsibilities and limitations, these are directly related to what we are learning and expressing our higher self in effective ways and now and for the future. We often seem to be caught in holding patterns, practicing skills and coming to realizations about things that may seem meaningless or futile in the moment. However, these set the stage for abilities we'll have to demonstrate in future life experiences and chapters. Overcoming limitations and impatience as we slowly and surely master what we have to master ensures our better self opportunities to show itself in the future. All of these relate directly to our Dharma or higher truth or self. These come forth as we master the divine laws related directly to what is called the ring pass not. While I've written about this many times, today we review this immutable binding force teaching us that some limits are more boon than burden. Saturn symbolizes the universal binding force, the limits of our fear, our responsibility, and our Dharma Seva, the great work. In the wisdom tradition, Saturn also rules what is known as the ring pass not. It is where we meet the fear that separates us from our own divinity, dominion, and perfection. As we grow, our ring pass not also grows. The ring pass not defines what is and is not permitted from the angle of your own soul's growth, both in terms of skills as well as comprehension. That's why we are learning about different ring pass not, both personally and collectively. As we easily see through contemplating the teachings of sages and true spiritual teachers, there are many limitations of ego and matter to master. Doing this effectively requires both imagination, acceptance that in fact we do have limits we need to examine, and willingness to try to grow beyond our inabilities. We defined our field of our disillusionment by the nature of predisposing patterns of attachments to perceptions and interpretations about life. Everything that is subject to our perceptions and minds becomes a temporary form we can learn from, both by its appearance and its eventual disappearance. How much fear, enslavement, and disempowerment we experience around the comings and goings of phenomena in our lives show us our ring pass not. Glamour often plays a big part in how we limit our possibilities unnecessarily, since glamour is fundamentally unreal and we're told it's a world problem. However, it is a useful tool so that we may overcome or we may come out of our delusions around the nature of self and our relationship to truth and community. However, these are defined in their ever-changing nature as well as changeless nature. Through the inevitable contrasts and the ever-necessary polarizations between the worlds of soul and matter, we master moving through duality and learn how to antidote the various doubts, illusions, and superstitions which we have created as a result of ego, suppositions based on the perceptions of the five senses and the mind. This is where timing is everything. We cannot solve tomorrow's problems today, nor can we move beyond the inherent limits of the immediate moment. The beauty in this is that the higher awareness is absolute, yet relative. There are limits to what we are able to understand and utilize skillfully at any given moment in our personal and impersonal evolution. This is where, in mastering how to lift the chains of mental slavery off our shoulders, we come both understanding and wisdom about form and process. Those are the keys to mastering our higher destiny. The ring pass not is comprised of what we are and what we are not, the limit set by our own response to the edge of our fears as well as the threshold of revelation. Another important aspect of our ring pass not are our self-created blind spots and limited ego mind, hindering or needlessly limiting what we are willing to accept and become as spirits in the material world. We are limited by our ability to act or not act skillfully in situations. This also applies to our emotions and mindset as we become more skillful in surmounting limitations or find new ways to do something needed by us or our world. We will become the teacher we seek, since there is no true separation between the teacher, the teaching, and we who are taught. In reality, there is no limit to the growth of the soul, but there are limitations of form, different ones required at different seasons of the life. This teaches us a well-rounded wisdom and offers textures to understanding through knowing when to stop, when to go, when to work, and when to play, whether in the physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual realms of experience. We all have limitations. We all have the power to grow beyond them. As we learn not to take certain lessons personally, we can examine how we all have been limited by various aspects of our understanding that set up certain lessons, both individual and interactive, unique as well as recurring. As we extend the scope of how our lessons relate to our personality growth as well as what we are to do in the world, those patterns of our lives show us clues towards a larger perspective about things, resources, the players and their roles, and our own relationship to expectations. It is leading each of us, you and me and humanity, beyond old limitations and roles, since each of us is a seed within the greater life of humanity as a whole. Each lesson we master aids the progress of all. Welcome to the school all of us are subjected to by nature and of our life in three-dimensional form in an impermanent world. Begin to frame everything that presents itself to you with an eye to opening your heart to an ever greater group recognition, effective service, and self-forgetfulness, coupled to an ever greater expression of goodwill. That way, your expressions of love will become more consistent, you'll know your connectedness with other beings, and you'll drop your fears very quickly. By generating goodwill and positivity, you're using spiritual magnetic material in a loving and wise way, and all limitations of form can be seen in the light of a greater spiritual understanding, with all things redeemed in good fashion. Then the ring past knot becomes the defining limit of your own spirituality in your world, according to the level of your effectiveness and the specific function you are occupying within the larger one life in which we live and breathe and have our being. Though much of this sounds difficult to achieve, it's really an inevitability once you get in the groove and stay on track through time and experience. Keep synthesizing your awareness as you move from realization to application to further realizations and applications. The fantastic goal of perfecting our consciousness through practices of self-realization is within reach for us all, if we simply come to the right point of view and show up ready to play. This is from Robert Wilkinson. I continue here with Anastasia Campos. We all have a ring past knot, and it shifts with each lesson we learn to apply with wisdom, intelligence, and skill. Even though it is human to be hassled by our responsibilities and limitations, these are directly related to what we are learning and expressing our higher self in effective ways now and for the future. We often seem to be caught in holding patterns, practicing skills, and coming to realizations about things that may seem meaningless or futile in the moment. However, these set the stage for abilities we'll have to demonstrate in the future, life experiences and chapters, overcoming limitations and impatience as we slowly and surely master what we have to master, ensures our better self opportunities to show itself in the future. And a further connection with our higher selves means to be more consciously grounded in the human being, that is human embodiment, and this can be over and over throughout one's day as well, being spiritually mindful consciously. There is so much astral activity going on above in our waking lives, and also immense, intense dreams of releasing in spirit as well, coming through that way or both, which can leave one feeling quite exhausted at times. Yet when we learn to live in the flow of both soul and spirit with a link to the divine, this allows us to flow of chi, prana, life force energy, to live from and with this divine link, with taking care of ourselves and resting when we need be, handing over in faith and trust and letting go of wanting to do all in the human being embodiment, handing over all in faith and trust and bringing our inner light within ourselves to us firstly, and then this flows on to the outer to all others, knowing this will be also part of going out to the collective. It begins or starts with the micro, within the macro firstly. So with any dizziness apart from any physical medical area that may be tended to, it helps to be conscious right now to help us to shift this energy and dizziness out of our space by coming home within our energy focus, and to move and shift with this, and to remember we may need to eat a little more to keep our energy reserves and grounded. A small healthy snack is enough to do this, or work out what this is for you. I will keep you posted over this time of incoming energies during this Lionsgate massive and overwhelmingly time, yet very exciting times as well, as we are also newly creating, bringing in a very new universal embryo within us as well. As always, I am right here with you. You are masters, you are ascending, and we are gathering. Much unconditional love, truth, and honesty, Anastasia Campos, and you can find her on Facebook on the Blue Beyond Guide. Today, from the Dream Spell Journey by Valom Votan and Balon Ilk. Today is the third day of the Dream Spell Oyeb. Therefore, today is 2 days until the day out of time, and 3 days until the new Dream Spell year of the cosmic moon. The sacred third day of the Yoyeb is synchronizing with today's kin 11, Spectral Monkey, 11 Monkey, the kin of Jose Arguelles, and Valom Votan, visionary and author of Mayanism, and archetypal father of Dream Spell, 13 Moons, along with his life partner, Loidine Balon Ilk. This emblematic couple reached the peak of their cultural influence in 1987, when they issued the call for the Harmonic Convergence, which was the first globally synchronized meditation for peace in human history. This event also marked the beginning of the New Age as a social movement. Precisely, kin 11 is coded 11.11, seal 11, tone 11, and the kin 22 of Balon Ilk also contains the double number of 11. 11 plus 11 equals 22. Within the New Age movement, the 1111 code is referred to as the Awakening Code, and has been related to the date 11-11-11. Certainly, Jose and Loidine embodied the spiritual awakening codes of the new time. Today's kin 11 marks 113 Zolkin, 113 galactic spins since the birth of Jose Valom Votan. Exactly, the kin 113 was the combined power of Valom Votan and Balon Ilk in 1981, the year they met and started their prophetic ministry. The combined power of the rotations was Valom kin 1 plus Balon Ilk. Kin 112 equals kin 113. Today's synchronization between the kin 11 and the third sacred day of the Wayeb, 11.3 equals 11 plus 11 plus 11 equaling 33. As we know, number 33 codes the combined power of Valom, kin 11, and Balon Ilk, kin 22, is 33. This synchronization will exactly be happening on day 363 of the solar year, a number which represents the third part of the hyperdimensional 3333. Original matrix of Avebury, 33 times 33 equals 1089. Divided by 3 equals 363. This is the first part of the new information that Tortuga 1320 is currently presenting in the seminar New Earth Wizards 3333 Avebury, set in mythic and geomantic landscape of Avebury Stone Circle, England, UK. The 7-day gathering is also celebrating the Day Out of Time 2019 and the new magnetic wizard year 25th to 26th of July 2019. Back in the early 1990s, when Loidine and I proposed our analysis of the error in time along with the solution of replacing the Gregorian calendar, virtually everyone thought we were crazy. The fruit of our discovery and analysis of 1260 artificial time and 1320 natural time was the creation of Dreamspell, the Journey of Time Ship Earth 2013, Jose Arguelles, the Mayan Factor. Prophecy confirms the existence of natural time. If we examine the different prophecies, they all seem to have similar themes. There is an original time, there is a time of corruption, there is a time of prophecy to end the corruption, then there is a return to the original time, or to natural time, or to the golden age. 11 plus 22 equals 33. equaling 11 plus 11 plus 11, equaling 33. 33 is the golden age, the mystery, the divine source in Lakek. 23 of July 2019, NS1.31.13.27, Kin 11, Blue Spectral Monkey. I dissolve in order to play. Releasing illusion, I seal the process of magic. With a spectral tone of liberation, I am guided by my own power doubled. And that's from the Dream Spell Journey. I'd like to thank everyone that joined me today in this transmission. Thank you all that have posted their transmission for the blueprint for all starseeds. You can check that out on primedisclosure.com/blueprint. I'd like to also thank everyone on mission for the Healing Retreat Center in Ecuador, South America, where the eagle flies with the condor, the foothills of the Andes, the Kundalini of Earth. You can join us on raising funds for this mission on cbdpeaceoil.com, and that's for a CBD oil company, and that's cbdpeaceoil.com. You can find the link in the description below. So let us also know in the comments below this video what you're experiencing through these days out of time, through this ascension process. Let us know what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, what you're feeling, and what you're transmitting. So have a beautiful and blessed day, beloved beings of light. I love you all. Namaste.
Bye.